Welcome to the Medicine Study channel. Today we talking about anatomy and physiology of the mouth and throat. The mouth is a vital part of the human body and plays several essential roles, including digestion, communication, and respiration. Here's an overview of the anatomy of the mouth, oral cavity. The oral cavity, commonly known as the mouth, is the first portion of the digestive system. It serves as the entry point for food and liquids. The main components of the oral cavity include lips. The lips frame the entrance to the mouth and play a role in speech, facial expressions, and holding food in the mouth. Oral mucosa. The oral cavity is lined with mucous membrane called oral mucosa, which is soft and moist. It covers the inner surfaces of the cheeks, gums, and the underside of the tongue. Tongue. The tongue is a muscular organ that helps in manipulating food, tasting, and swallowing. It also plays a crucial role in speech production. Teeth. Teeth are hard structures embedded in the upper and lower jaws. They are used for biting and chewing food, breaking it down into smaller pieces for digestion. Palate. The palate is the roof of the mouth. It is divided into two parts: the hard palate at the front bony and the soft palate at the back muscular. The soft palate helps in swallowing and preventing food and liquids from entering the nasal cavity. Uvula. The uvula is a small, fleshy structure hanging down from the soft palate. It plays a role in speech and helps to prevent food from entering the nasal passages during swallowing. Salivary glands. Several salivary glands, such as the parotid, submandibular, and sublingual glands, produce saliva, which moistens food, aids in digestion, and helps in swallowing. Tonsils. Tonsils are lymphoid tissue located at the back of the mouth and in the throat. They are part of the immune system and help to protect the body against infections. Pharynx. The pharynx, also known as the throat, is a muscular tube that connects the mouth to the esophagus for food and the larynx for air. It serves as a passageway for both food and air. Epiglottis. The epiglottis is a flap-like structure that prevents food and liquids from entering the windpipe trachea during swallowing. It covers the trachea to protect the airway. Taste buds. Taste buds are located on the tongue and the lining of the oral cavity. They contain sensory receptors that allow you to perceive different tastes: sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami savory. The mouth is a complex and highly specialized structure with multiple functions. Its anatomy is crucial for activities such as eating, speaking, and breathing, as well as for maintaining overall health and well-being. The physiology of the mouth involves various processes and functions that play a crucial role in digestion, speech, and maintaining oral health. Here are some key aspects of mouth physiology. Salivation. Saliva is produced by the salivary glands in the mouth, including the parotid, submandibular, and sublingual glands. Saliva contains enzymes, such as amylase, which begin the digestion of carbohydrates in the mouth by breaking down starches into simpler sugars, e.g. maltose. Mastication. Chewing. The process of chewing food helps mechanically break it down into smaller, more manageable pieces. Chewing also mixes food with saliva, forming a semi-liquid mixture called chyme, which facilitates swallowing. Taste. Sensation. Taste buds on the tongue and the lining of the oral cavity are responsible for detecting different tastes: sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami. Taste receptors send signals to the brain, allowing us to perceive and distinguish various flavors in the food we eat. Deglutition. Swallowing. Swallowing is a complex process that involves both voluntary and involuntary muscle actions. When food is ready to be swallowed, the tongue pushes it toward the back of the mouth, triggering the swallowing reflex. The epiglottis covers the trachea to prevent food or liquid from entering the airway during swallowing. Respiration. The mouth also plays a role in respiration. Air can enter and exit the respiratory system through the mouth when needed, such as during heavy exertion or when the nasal passages are blocked. Articulation. Speech. The oral cavity, especially the tongue, lips, and palate, is critical for speech production. Changing the shape and position of these structures helps produce different speech sounds. Defense mechanisms. Mucous membranes in the mouth act as a barrier to protect against pathogens. Saliva contains antimicrobial enzymes and antibodies that help prevent infection. The throat, also known as the pharynx, is a muscular tube-like structure located at the back of the mouth and nasal cavity. It serves as a passageway for both food and air and plays a vital role in the respiratory and digestive systems. The anatomy of the throat can be divided into three main regions: the nasopharynx, oropharynx, and laryngopharynx. Here's an overview. Nasopharynx. The nasopharynx is the uppermost part of the throat and is located behind the nasal cavity. It serves primarily as an air passage and plays a crucial role in breathing. The adenoids, a collection of lymphoid tissue, are found in the nasopharynx and play a role in the immune system's defense against infections. Oropharynx. The oropharynx is located just below the nasopharynx and extends from the soft palate to the base of the tongue. It serves as a passage for both air and food, as it connects to both the nasal passages and the mouth. The tonsils, which are also part of the immune system, are located in the oropharynx. These include the palatine tonsils on the sides of the throat and the lingual tonsils at the base of the tongue. The oropharynx is involved in the early stages of digestion as it receives food from the mouth and helps initiate the swallowing process. Laryngopharynx. The laryngopharynx is the lowest part of the throat, situated below the oropharynx. It serves as a common pathway for both food and air before they split into their respective routes. Air travels into the trachea windpipe, leading to the lungs, while food enters the esophagus, leading to the stomach. The epiglottis, a flap-like structure, prevents food and liquids from entering the trachea during swallowing. Additional structures and features within the throat include larynx voice box. The larynx is located below the laryngopharynx and is responsible for sound production and vocalization. It contains the vocal cords, which vibrate when air passes through them, producing speech sounds. Cartilage rings. The trachea and larynx are reinforced with cartilage rings that help maintain their shape and prevent collapse during breathing and speaking. Muscles and connective tissues. Muscles in the throat help facilitate swallowing and control the movement of food and air. Connective tissues and muscles in the pharynx contract rhythmically during swallowing, pushing food into the esophagus. Understanding the anatomy of the throat is important for various reasons, including the diagnosis and treatment of medical conditions, such as respiratory infections, swallowing disorders, and throat-related diseases. The physiology of the throat, also known as the pharynx, involves several essential functions related to breathing, swallowing, and vocalization. These functions are coordinated by various muscles, nerves, and structures within the throat. Here's an overview of the key aspects of throat physiology. Breathing. The pharynx plays a role in respiration by serving as a common passageway for air from the nasal passages and mouth to the trachea windpipe and then into the lungs. During normal breathing, air flows through the nasopharynx or oropharynx, depending on whether one is breathing through the nose or mouth. Swallowing. Deglutition. Swallowing is a complex process that involves the coordinated contraction of muscles in the throat and esophagus. The process begins with the voluntary phase, where food or liquid is pushed to the back of the mouth by the tongue and soft palate. The involuntary phase follows, triggered by the swallowing reflex. The epiglottis covers the trachea to prevent aspiration of food or liquid into the airway. Muscles in the pharynx contract to push the food or liquid downward, while the upper esophageal sphincter relaxes to allow passage into the esophagus. Vocalization. Phonation. The larynx, situated just below the pharynx, is responsible for sound production and vocalization. The vocal cords within the larynx vibrate when air from the lungs passes over them, producing sound. Muscles in the throat and larynx control the tension and position of the vocal cords to modulate pitch and tone, allowing for speech and singing. Immune function. The tonsils, located in the oropharynx, are part of the immune system. They help protect against infections by trapping pathogens and initiating an immune response. Coughing and gag reflex. The throat is equipped with reflex mechanisms such as coughing and the gag reflex. to expel foreign objects or irritants that may enter the airway or throat. Control of airway and food passage, epiglottis, a flap-like structure. Prevents food and liquids from entering the trachea during swallowing, ensuring that they pass safely into the esophagus. Mucociliary glands. The pharynx is lined with ciliated cells and mucus-producing glands that help trap and remove foreign particles and pathogens, facilitating their expulsion through coughing or swallowing. Overall, the throat's physiology involves a combination of voluntary and involuntary processes that are crucial for breathing, swallowing, vocalization, and immune defense. Dysfunction in any of these processes can lead to various medical conditions and may require evaluation and treatment by healthcare professionals. Thanks for watching.